Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. You all have firsthand experience with the SBIR program. As Congress looks to reauthorize the program, what are some of the recommendations that you have for how the program can be improved? Some of the reforms that are talked about include increasing SBIR funding level. I'm sure nobody wants that. Increasing commercialization initiatives to provide a better bridge between research and development and the attraction of private sector partners. Improving administration of agency SBIR programs, and improving outreach to small firms owned and controlled by women, veterans, and minorities. I'd like to hear if you have any response to any of those or any thoughts about those or others. Will we start with Mr. Brown?
Once again, the administration is looking at all these issues, and it's a mouthful. Let's just be honest about it. There's a number of issues, and some of them are a lot more complex than others. Some of them are fairly basic, and some of them are a lot more complex. And not only do they apply across the board for the entire program, but if you even look at the 4 other colleagues I have here, they apply differently at the agencies that are here. But speaking in general, echoing what has been said by my colleagues, as well as what has been said by the National Academy study, the one thing I will say is that the flexibility that the program has needs to be moved forward. So as we look at these issues in terms of eligibility, the VC issue, the guidelines, size of awards, whether we should increase the 2.5% and other issues that we're discussing, that we just be mindful of how flexible the program has been, and it seems that that is the one area that everybody agrees on moving forward, that we need to try to maintain that flexibility while at the same time maintaining a structure that will maintain the integrity of the program.
Any other members of the panel have thoughts about that? Any other questions? Any observations?
I would echo Mr. Brown's comment about the importance of flexibility in this program. That's really what's helped these programs succeed given our varying missions. I think there is one area that is worth just sort of factually stating, that is that currently the set-aside amounts for SBIR and STTR must remain separate, and they can't be combined into a total set-aside of 2.8%. So this gets more to the flexibility issue, again, of managing the programs effectively to fund the most meritorious SBIR or STTR projects under that set-aside.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
I think the technical assistance aspects of the current law has made it pretty difficult for us to provide commercialization assistance as we would like. I think there are some efforts in the new reauthorization to fix that. I think they need to raise the amounts and also specify in the phase 2 that it's either it's not inside the grant. Mm-hmm. The government has the ability to have a contractor and provide so forth. And you mentioned administrative resources. Certainly, we would all like to have some more money to help us manage the program better. I think a prime example of that here is my colleague here next to me keeps talking about his Phase 2B, and I absolutely agree. I think it is a flagship, and I wish I could emulate it, but I don't have the resources in my procurement authority to do that. It takes quite a bit more procurement specialists to administer that kind of a program, and that's...
Any thoughts, sir?
I think from NSF point of view, I'll echo what others have talked about, this flexibility, because each of us have a different mission, and you have seen some of the things like Phase 2B is because of the flexibility we were able to implement. One area that we have raised in the past, which is we are very fortunate that at NSF that we have dedicated SBIR program managers from the topic generation to the evaluation to awards management by technology topics. These are technology managers who manage the program. And the way we are structured is they cannot use the program funds to actually go visit or help the companies in terms of mentoring or making connections. So we take a reverse attitude of trying to bring all the companies to Washington, D.C., spend maybe like 10 minutes per company, which is not really all that, the best practice.
Thank you, and I yield back my 7 seconds.